Of course, Hugo Bros, the manager here since September of 2022 from South Africa. Everything ready for the first half of football.
We are underway. Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations Group B. It is South Africa in the gold shirts and green shorts, and with the Palancas Negras in the red shirts and black shorts. They're attacking the goals to the right of your picture, and immediately South Africa winning a free kick. It's a beautiful evening for football. As I said, from a spectator point of view, it's a crisp night. It's a bit on the chilly side, but it's perfect conditions for football. An amazing playing surface, it's going to be said. It's a hybrid pitch you were explaining to me, Badu.
The pitch is absolutely very nice and everything, of course, and this is the pitch most of the footballers want to play on. I was talking about Mbole. He's one of the midfielders who's very good, and at their last game against the local Blasters, he was the one who scored the goal on the 57th minute.
Indeed it was. Of course, that was just a training match. No official caps were awarded for that game as Mohamed Kota looks to put pressure on the big man, Zito Luvumbo. Plays in Italy for Cagliari. Bommel, man who knows all about the stage. Patrice Bommel, having been an assistant to Evrenat as they led Zambia Polo Polo to victory 2012. 2012 tournament, of course, Badu will hold special memories for you as well for that cracker of a goal that you scored.
Absolutely, I scored that goal and was nominated for Puskas Awards.
Absolutely, and I think it was eventually going to be voted the goal of the tournament. Do yourself a favor, go to YouTube if you haven't seen Badu's goal there. An absolute stunner. Maestro, the man in your picture there, plays in Turkey. 20-year-old. One of the younger players. They've got a nice mix of youth and experience in this Angolan side. South Africa, very young squad. 16 players will be making their debut at the Nations Cup in the squad if they do all get on the pitch. Yes, the skipper Freddy floating one into the box. They're struggling to clear their lines, and immediately Ronwen Williams has a few choice words for his defenders as he was forced to make a catch that will give him some confidence early on here.
He's a goalkeeper, we know his strength, and he can never allow the ball to enter his net.
Made history, of course, at the last Africa Cup of Nations, did Ronwen Williams, when he became the first player, so the first goalkeeper to save 4 penalties in a penalty shootout.
Looking at the Angola setup, I think they are playing 3-5-2, but when they have the ball, they open wide. Without their body, they defend with 5 players.
Lyle Foster there, winning a free kick. All the way back to Begaseli Mbogasi, one of those debutants. But his story is a most remarkable one. He's into his first full season at senior football level with Orlando Pirates, and was duly snapped up and is now going to be playing his football in the United States, Major League Soccer, for the Chicago Fire. Mbule doing so well to hold off his marker. That's the man they call Yaya. Stole it. You can see from his physique why he gets the nickname Yaya. Yaya Toure. Not quite the height of a Yaya Toure, but he's also physically imposing and tall, because Yaya Toure is quite a tall man and one standing at 1.9 meters tall. The Ivorian legend. Aubrey Modiba. One of the changes to the side that played against Zambia in a friendly international. The ball over the top there. Nice touch from the home quarter. Line first, I couldn't control. Still a chance there. That's when the ball is raced up to it. But the Angolans keep it at bay. It's a bright start from both sides here. We're having a go at each other. Turn from Lyle Foster. Carter. Mudao had gone on the overlap to his right. Nice stuff here from Bafana. Moving the ball around nicely. Aubrey Mutiba. Not quite what he intended as it comes off the back of the head of Sipombule. That was also in Apollos. They could hit it first time there. A timely challenge by the man they call Shaw.
That was a good block from Shaw. South Africa have started the game very well, possessing the ball very well, and they are very calm on the ball, and they are doing a lot of interpositional changes in the middle as well. That's really happened there.
It's been a lot of rain around these parts in and around Marrakesh in the last 2 weeks, but it rained overnight as well, but haven't had any rain today, thank goodness. And there isn't any rain forecast, so as I said, conditions absolutely perfect for football.
Absolutely, the weather is really nice and everything else on course in Marrakesh.
You can hear some of the fans there chanting VAR. There might be, I think, a VAR. Hugo Bruce sharing a lighter moment, a big landmark match for him as well. Match number 50 for Hugo Bruce in charge of South Africa, and what a spell it has been for the great man. Currently, Bafana on a run of 26 matches unbeaten. That is remarkable at any level.
Unbelievable. The coach has done a tremendous job. This is third African Cup of Nations. He won the cup with Cameroon 2017, and he took South Africa to third place last AFCON, and he's here now.
And in fact, interestingly, in his comments in the build-up to the tournament, he rates his work with South Africa as even bigger, more of an achievement than what he did with Cameroon, even though he won the ultimate prize with Cameroon. But I think he talks of where he took the side, where the side was when he took over.
If a coach of his caliber can go to the AFCON and obviously qualify the nation to World Cup as well, I think he has done a tremendous job.
Robin Williams being forced into the save there. Not much power behind the header. We're talking, okay, there seems to be some problems with the equipment there of the officials. It's a small band of South African supporters in the ground, but they're making some noise. If you can get yourself out to Morocco, do yourself a favor. There really is it's a magnificent country from a tourist point of view, but also they've really pulled out all the stops to host this nation. Magnificent stadia that have been put up for this event, including this one here in Marrakesh, the Grand Stade Marrakesh. We're back underway then, until the technical issues sorted out. Mokoena having his first sight and goal. We know what he's capable of from this sort of range, and he didn't need a second invitation, didn't quite wrap his boot around it.
I'm not surprised. That's his trademark. He's an expert in long range and expert in free kicks as well. So I'm not surprised of what he has done right now.
Kebo Mokoena making his 46th appearance here, and looking for what would have been his 10th goal. What a special night it is for the little town of Bethlehem, Buhlukum to be more precise, as they see their sons Tebo Mokoena and Sipombule lining up for the national team. And what a story of redemption it has been for that man who was just in your picture, Sipombule, written off by many was released by his club in the South African PSL Premier Soccer League at the end of last season, and was duly snapped up as a free agent by Orlando Pirates. Look at him now. Now, see what Angola can do, twisting one way or the other. It's that man Bavumbo. Freddy, the skipper, goes down and loses possession. Kurisomudao couldn't keep that one in play. Free kick goes the way of South Africa. 10 minutes gone, and still no goals, but there's been action at both ends. Oh, it's a beautiful looking ball out wide there for Kota to chase from Ozwina Policy. Kota, oh, very nearly got the better of a man. The little drop of the shoulder there. Puts it in towards Lyle Foster. And at full stretch is Hugo Miguel Barreto.
He's a striker who has the strength and he positioned himself very well, but that was a great save from Hugo Marquez.
Into touch. Should be a throw in for South Africa, quickly taken. Mboazi. He's got Modiba to his left. Again, and go wide this time to Kurizomudao. Kota touches it back. South Africa's record in the opening matches at AFCON reads they've won just 3 of their 11 opening matches at this tournament. This is their 12th appearance at the main table of African football, while Angola are making their 10th appearance. Reminder, both nations made their debut at the same tournament back in 1996. Of course, on their way to winning the ultimate prize, South Africa beat your beloved Black Stars, Badu. Sorry to remind you. Now, Luvumbo, the big man, strong, physically built man from plays for Cagliari. He's just 21 years old, one of the younger players in this Palancas Negras side. Ball floated in. Oh, Modiba lets it go. Riskily, not to know whether he was even aware that Luvumbo was behind him. Luvumbo looking to wrestle his way past this man.
That was a very good defensive work. Muvundo is a player who has pace, he has skills, and is creative. He has the body type that can receive all the bullets from defenders as well.
This time just a little bit over enthusiastic and draws a foul. It just gives away the free kick. Sportsmanship. Sportsmanship being taken to the extreme with a little kiss on the back of the head for his teammate there. Freddy working it wide to Nzola. Freddy again. Picked up on the short right hand side by Mata. Freddy on the volley, and Rodman Williams produces a brilliant save. Fabulous strike by the Angolan's captain. Bafana will look to hit on the break here on the counter. Lyle Foster isolated and also showed too much of it to the defender there.
Fantastic shot, fantastic save.
Take a look at this. Great football all around. Wonderful technique. Did everything right there, Freddie? Didn't he, Badu?
I think he did what he can do. The ball was on his left foot. That's not a strong leg, and he did what he can do. And it was a great save from Ronan Williams. He loves to save balls like this, and Angola the best goalkeeper in Africa right now.
Now, switching the play, picks out Mudiba. The pass just a little bit too heavy for Oswin Apollos, but Stoller puts in a boot there to win possession back. Look at that. These are shots on target. 2-1. That volley from Freddie, the captain of the side. Doesn't score a great many goals. He's a defensive midfielder. Just 3 in his 60 previous appearances for his country. Good to play out the back here now to Angola, switching it up. Searching ball, but it's Chris Modal that gets there first balls for Freddie. Modal intervenes again. South Africa have now failed to win their opening game in the last 6 African Cup of Nations appearances. Drawn 2 and lost 4 in that time. The last time they won an opening day game was back in 2004, and they beat Benin by 2-0. Benin, who are at this tournament and will be amongst the 4 nations that we're looking for their first ever win at a Nations Cup. Show. The same man, your picture playing his 50th, making his 50th appearance for his country. There's his club football in Turkey for Alanyaspor.
Both teams are very tactical and no one wants to make a mistake, so the tempo of the game is a bit slow.
It's the nature of the opening games at a Nations Cup or at any tournament really, is that you want to win it. Apollos just slipped there momentarily to look to turn his man inside out. Is that you want to win your opening match, but if you can't do that, you don't want to lose. So that's why they can be rather cagey affairs. And I don't think South Africa will be overly worried by that record that I just mentioned, because last time out, they lost their opening game and they proceeded to go all the way to the semi-finals and went on to win bronze, of course. Having lost out to bitter rivals Nigeria. I'm not sure which rivalry is bigger, that between South Africa and Nigeria or between the Super Eagles and the Black Stars, Badu.
I'll go for Super Eagles and Black Stars. The rivalry is not only about football, it's about the Jollof as well.
Yeah, the Jollof Derby. And of course, it is a rivalry that is a much older rivalry than that between South Africa and Nigeria. Absolutely. All the way back to Ugo Marx, man who played his football in South Africa at a time. It's on the books of Cape Town City. very experienced goalkeeper. Now on the turn, Mbule working it wide to Mahangota. One Pirates player to a former Pirates player.
And here we go. South Africa 1, Angola 0. South Africa happened to score the first goal of the tournament, leading 1-0. And the Bafana of Rowan Williams happens to get the first win, the first goal scored by number 7. Number 7, Oswin Aporis. This is interesting for South African community, South African in the stadium, the ambience, the Bafana scoring the goal on the 20th minute of the game. South Africa 1, Angola 0.
Like this, they will punish you.
Have a look at it again here. Switching from right to left.
Brilliant control from Mbule. And he missed the touch one and left the ball for Apollos, and obviously you cannot give him a chance like this. He have a limited chance and he put the ball in the net. Great goal.
And great work as well from Lyle Foster to get out the way there and allow Apollos to have a shot on goal. Also in Apollos and up and running at AFCON 2025. Oh, and at the other end, Angola.
Yeah, they nearly scored and that was a teasing ball inside the box of South Africa, and the defender did very well and put the ball in the corner.
We've got a corner here, then lining up is Zito Luvumbo. As they look to try and get level immediately. Ronald Williams makes the call and claims that one with some ease. Now, this should make things very interesting. It'll open the game up because it's already been a fairly open game. I think they will want to get back on level terms, Angola. Again, I remind you, never have Angola beaten South Africa at a Nations Cup. But also Angola have a proud record of not losing their opening matches in the past. As Apollos was muscled off the ball there, illegally so. The last time these sides faced each other at a Nations Cup was in 2013 at the Moses Mabhida Stadium when South Africa were hosts. Remember, they hosted that tournament as basically a replacement hosts. As Apollos was looking to play in quarter, but asking a little bit too much there. That last meeting between these two sides in that 2013 tournament was a 2-0 win for South Africa with goals from Siyabonga Sangweni and Lishonolo Machoro. How do the Palancas Negras respond now? Put this over down. Free kick, that was a late challenge on Okwena by Freddie, the skipper of Angola. It's late and then he drags, he starts on the Achilles tendon there of Mokwena. That will hurt.
That hurts. Teboko Mokwela, Zitoli, and Sifo Angola has been doing a wonderful job in Bedford for South African national team.
25 minutes into it. To the 25th minute we are now. Oswin Napal is making the breakthrough. Bule. All the way back to Ronwen Williams, who's made a couple of great saves to keep South Africa in it. So still this game is still a lot to go, a long way to go in this game. Angola are very much in it. There's a couple of great saves that have kept South Africa, well, at least have avoided Angola taking the lead in this game. Now, trying to set something up now right with Cho Canero operating on the left-hand side. Free kick again, with a foul this time on Aubrey Mutiva. Patrice Momet. Well, he has to now find a way back, to plot a way back into this game for his side. Won't panic yet, I'm certain. Look at the foul count there. Haven't had a yellow card just yet in the game. Canelo. Switching play now to the side inside. Getting men behind the ball and they're out of position. Just the last touch came off the Moraze. That's a corner.
South Africa is doing very well without the ball. They're moving very well. Angola wants to play through the fast and get closest inside the box.
The football lining up the corner. He has to intervene there with a little bit of argy-bargy in the box. Angola now look to try and go level from the set piece. Skipper Freddy lining it up. There was a powerful header and another brilliant reflex save from Alvin Williams. Fantastic stuff from South Africa's number one, who is certainly in the mood tonight. It's yet another save.
That was a teasing cross from Frederick, and the header was fantastic, but as usual, Rodman Williams will not allow you to make such great goals like this. He did very well and saved the goal.
The signs are there. The signs are there that his side are still in it. As I said, the man won't be panicking. Gezana. clearance from Ngezana, but gets it away nonetheless. Now, this could be dangerous. They were backing off. They were backing off that Lufumbo. Squeeze and shot through the powerful runner with the ball.
There was miscommunication between him and his striker as well.
Half an hour gone here at the Grand Stade de Marrakesh. It is South Africa that lead by a goal to nil. Oswin Palace in the 21st minute at notching up his 6th career goal, or at least the 6th Bafana goal, 6th international strike for Palace, as promising again from the Palancas Negras, and a crucial touch there to take the ball away from the head of Mbala Nzola.
Good play from Angola. Lufumbo and Freddy have been doing all their work, 1v1, 2v1. They get a good cross, but unfortunately they couldn't score.
Both these nations, of course, qualified from the group undefeated. So very impressive qualifying campaigns as they come back into Angola. South Africa clearing lines yet again. Freddy to Cañero, working it wide to Dala. Haven't seen much of Jacinto Dala as a dangerous runner with the ball. Free kick is gone, and it's a first yellow of the game.
Yes, first yellow of the game. South Africa reading 1-0. 1-0. The Bafana. This is the champions of New South Africa AFCON 1996. And the first ever AFCON they ever played after apartheid ban. They hosted the tournament. Stadiums were full of races together for the first time. Mark Williams scored twice in the final versus Tunisia. Mandela lifts the trophy with the team. And during that time, football was as medicine for a country coming out of the trauma. "34 minutes of the game, 1-0 South Africa, Bafana. 0 Palancas Negras Angola." And the Bafana, they started from nothing to the continental champions. You cannot forget that before 1992, South Africa was banned from the FIFA. And in less than 4 years, they went from nothing to AFCON champions. That was a 4 free kicking. And later on turned into a goal and a draw. Palancas Negras scored a goal from the fall. The equalizing goal from 35 minutes of the game. The Palancas Negras, or the Black Antelopes, they were named after the giant saber antelope, a rare and a protected Angolan animal, which is a symbol of elegance and strength almost disappeared during the war. A perfect metaphor where beautiful and fighting to survive. 1-1 from a free kick, and the entire nations celebrating the Palancas Negras, the black antelope, equalizing goal from a free kick. This is an interesting challenge, interesting game so far. 1-1. A nice free kick. And William Zulongo was not able to catch the ball. 1-1. So who's going to win the game today? Palancas Negras. They pray through the pain. So far they equalized the goal. Cannot forget the Angola Civil War, which was lasting from 1975 to 2002. And during this time, football was one of the few things that united people. And sometimes the national teams, they had to travel in dangerous conditions of the game.
Having played in Egypt in 2006 and in 2019, but they were eliminated in the group stages of both those tournaments. They reached the quarterfinals of the last edition of the Nations Cup in Cote d'Ivoire. Looking to second the football, looking to hang on up to the back post over considerably. Torcanero. So I think the ball had gone over the dead ball line. Out of play and back in there from the football. Yeah, it was out of play. That was out of play. And William Mufuso is having problems with Movondo on the left side, and he needs to take care of him very well, as they were putting a lot of troubles. Yeah, he is getting the better of him now. Is the football physically? He's winning the physical battle. What a game we have here. It's been an entertaining game. Uncharacteristically open for an opening day, an opening match in the group. Look at the shots on target there. As I said, just rewards for Angola. Ronald Williams had kept South Africa in the game. But he was eventually beaten by a really good strike from a defensive player.
Angola, they showed the spirit to fight. They fight from the beginning to the end. And we can remember from the World Cup 2006 qualifications, they beat Nigeria in the group to qualify for, and it was a shocking African. Aqua scored the first and the decisive goal against Rwanda, and from there it was the first and so far the only World Cup for Angola, which was a huge pride moment. Aqua, the captain, was the icon, the region, the leader of the golden generation, known for the big goals and big personality. And when we talk about the Angolan heroes, his name almost always comes first. And this is for 1 minute of the game. Angola 1, South Africa 1. An amazing game so far in the tournament. The equalizing goal was from assist Freddy to show 35 minutes of the game. After the opening goal from Apolis, Bafana was not able to keep a clean sheet. The yellow card to Aubrey Mafosa Modiba. The play stopped. The players are pushing and shouting at each other, and the referee should take action. Ending of the first half of the game, Angola was able to equalize. Even if Bafana was having about possession of 58, 42% of Angola, they happened to equalize.
But on the opposite end, the mirror image of the one that led to the opening goal. It's a skipper lining it up here to the back post. But there's a man got up well there to hit him up down. It's another set piece by a corner. Angola is doing absolutely very well back on the set pieces. They have good dangerous set piece time of the Palancas Negras. Bruce and Canada have some thinking to do of how to change things around at half-time, especially down that left-hand side of defense, where Abidjan is having a torrid time against the football. Appeals there for a handball. It's outside of the box, so VAR will get involved with that one. Reminder that we do have VAR in effect here. See, it was all outside of the box, a handball, but wasn't called. So I think the referee got his right. Thought the ball was too close to the player for him to get his hand out of the way. It's almost like the other goal. Set pieces, the captain see what they do from the corner then. Freddy again. It's a quality ball. Quality ball there. Just too close to 200 with it. Yes, too close to the gap. Just a little bit too high. We wanted it a bit flatter. So that the big man can attack it. Johannesburg. Puts it out. The left back there plays his football here in Montreal, so the familiar face to neutrals in the venue this evening. Was a good idea. Good idea. Let's see what he wanted to do with that one, but just not wasn't ready for the pass there. But switched to this left-hand side now. We swapped places with Osman Apolis, who's gone across to the right-hand side. Just to give the defender something different to think about as we approaching to get into stoppage time at the end of this first half. I look into the fourth official who's just indicated we will have a minimum of 5 minutes. Minimum 5 minutes to be added at the end of this first. That's Freddy heading towards his own goal.
And the last 5 minutes additional time to the first half of the game. Bafana 1, Palancas Negras 1. And of course the Bafana national team, which was coming from nothing to the continental champions in 1992. They were late start, but fast to rise. That was a great moment. If South African are underdogs, they happen to be back and fight again. And we cannot forget the 2010 World Cup, first time of Africa hosted the World Cup. And South Africa was the first African country to hold the World Cup. The whole continent was proud, not just as South African. New stadiums, infrastructures, global spotlight of Africa was able to shine once again. It was good to remind viewers how recent this was, the history. Palancas Negras that happened to qualify and now is able to be back from behind and come back with a cruising goal. We cannot forget the captain, the icon, the regent, Aqua, the leader of the golden generation. And of course, in 2006, Palancas Negras happened to hold a 0-0 Mexico draw. And everyone was thinking Mexico would easily win the game. João Ricardo, Angola goalkeeper, has the game of his life. They finished with 10 men, but still a clean sheet. When you talk about Angola, you cannot forget about the oil history. Angola is one of the Africa's biggest oil producers. Contrast between oil wealth and poverty. Footballers often come from tough neighborhoods. Football becomes as a dream beyond oil and politics. Still 1-1, South Africa 1, Angola 1, AFCON 2025 in Morocco. Third game of the tournament. Bafana 1. Negras 1. The South African Apolis was able to open the goal on 21 minutes, and equalizing was from the side of Palancas Negras show. Now it's 1-1, halftime. in Morocco, Marrakesh. The attendance was 41,245. South Africa won, Angola won.
Hugo Bruce, we'll get your thoughts on that one in a moment. South Africa again look to start on the front foot. They started off well in the first half and managed to get themselves ahead in that game, through an Oswin Apollos game ago, but to a peg back. And Angola, with that man Freddie doing some excellent work, it must be said, in midfield, and also being the provider of the crosses and the set pieces, including the one that led to the goal. You will claim an assist for that one. What would have been your instructions if you were in the shoes of both coaches? As he's made the change, let's first talk about Hugo Bruce. He has taken off from Tota, who wasn't seeing much action down that right-hand side, even switched sometimes to the left. So he's brought on a similar type of player to replace him. What is thinking?
I think I was thinking that he needed an offensive midfielder and someone who can defend as well, because Angola have taken the midfield and they are struggling to contain their midfield as well.
Well, it could be a chance here. The cutback. Sipompule opting for the cutback rather than go himself. I thought the shot was on for him to have a goal, but he chose the cutback. What do you think of the options there?
The experienced goalkeeper like him who go backwards can make this kind of mistake.
Yes, in the second half of the game, Keita was replaced by Moremi. And this shows how the Bafana want to reinforce the attacking, striking force. And for Bafana or Palancas Negras, this is a win-win game, a must-win game to start a beautiful tournament. It's a must-win for the first game in the tournament like AFCON. The Bafana won, Palancas Negras won. And you cannot forget that in the AFCON 2020, the AFCON 2010, hosting in a new Angola, only 8 years after the war ended, Angola hosted the AFCON. New revolution, new stadiums, new roads. That was the message to put the world to Angola was rebuilding. It was an emotional moment for the people who had grown up in the conflict. "50 minutes of the game, South Africa won, Angola won." And you cannot talk about South Africa without talking about the Shabarara Thunderbolt versus Mexico in 2010. The first goal of the tournament. Lefty foot locker, lefty foot locket. Iconic celebration stadium was exploding, and that clip still used in the FIFA montage today, especially when a South African player shoots from a distance.
South Africa is pressing them now to play a long ball. They are going on them 1v1 as well.
So we saw the press being applied to such great effect by the host nation, Morocco, last night in the opening game, but they were made to sweat for their victory. Will be something in the attack for South Africa to take the lead again. Oh, don't you love it? This made an immediate impact on the match. Tapa Murebi. What a finish. The right possession, turnover possession, and the punished and the balance suitably. What an introduction. That's just the kind of thing the coach loves when a sub makes an immediate impact.
6 minutes into the game, and he makes such a great impact in the game. He get the ball one, a couple of shots, and Hugo Marquez cannot do anything about this goal. That was a great goal, absolutely brilliant.
Excellent stuff from Tapa Murebi. 19 years giving South Africa. Put South Africa back in front. No chance. It's too late. The ball was well past it by the time the match made the dive. And South Africa are back in front. What a game. What a game this is turning out to be.
We really had huge impact in the game. 6 minutes coming in the game. But the ball started from the striker. He did very well, came in the middle, De La Foster. Play 1-2 with Gole, and Gole give a penetration pass. He control one and have a shot on the left foot. Absolutely great goal.
His first goal then for his country. Tapa Murebi.
Yes, now it's
First appearance.
the VAR,
Sixth appearance for country.
the VAR decision. The VR, we're going to find out if the action, if the goal was invalid, if there was no offside. The goal is 9. The goal is denied so far. Still 1-1.
To the rescue of Angola. So South Africa was to it all again.
Yes, it was complete offside. And the first time, Bentley striker was offside position before he drove the ball.
Question. A disappointment for Tapa Murebi, who thought he had made an immediate impact in the game here. I'd love to have a look at that one again to see, the challenges that have gone in have been really physical, and for some reason it's talk and the that came out the worst from that one. I hope we get another look at that call, that offside call.
For what I saw, he was absolutely offside. He was coming from the offside position.
On the field, by the way, Tapa Murebi, because of Conta being withdrawn, at least he came on for Conta. Now, at the other end, more of the same from what we saw in the first half, end-to-end stuff here. Like a bit of a basketball game that we are watching here.
Such a good ball from Frederick, but I think the last one have gone with his left foot to control the ball before. He wanted to go with the right foot.
Freddie has had an amazing game. He's been involved in just about everything. And here comes South Africa now. Mule keeps the ball very well. Maremina. Maramutiba rather. And look at that. Freddie intercepting that one. What a game the skipper is having, leading by example.
That was great interception from Freddie. He's running up and down, he's helping the strikers, and he's coming back to help the defenders as well. Great player. Good player today. And obviously he's the captain and he needs to show leadership.
Yeah, he's definitely putting a captain's shift. There's Freddie. Plays also in Turkey. Confirmation of a score 10 minutes into the second half. South Africa momentarily thought they'd retaken the lead. A goal choked off after a VAR check. Ryan Foster had been offside in the move. He's quite a player, this football. It's been a handful for down the left-hand side of South Africa's defense.
I'm loving the midfield battle between Maestro Monza, Alfredo Ribeiro, and Shaw. They're doing a great job against Tibola Makwela, Sifo Makwela, and Sisiko.
This is without Stoller laying it back to Gizan Boaz. Still anyone's game, this one. Brings him down. That's when the police gets onto it. Good work from Rudao to keep it alive. Stoller. Good stuff here from the Bogazi. He can shoot! And he can shoot well! Oh! What a stroke! Denied by the crossbar. He backed himself. We've seen him score screamers in the South African Premier Soccer League. Scored from even further than that. So he's got what it takes, and he saw it open up in front of him. And he wasn't looking for a second invitation. Look at that. Oh.
That was a beautiful strike from Bogazi. Like you said, he's one of his trademark as well.
So unlucky.
Unlucky, but he did very well. And they should keep going like this. I think Angola gave him too much space.
Yes.
You can't give the player who have great shot to space like this.
That's Bears Boaz yet to open his account for his country. Ole. Oswanapolis. And we got the opening goal of the game. Take him away. Looking now. Works up Super Buddha's done very well to draw the foul. It's so difficult to dispossess when he's on the ball. And that's why Shaw had to foul it.
Beautiful control, beautiful shot. That was a strike from Bogazi. Absolutely fantastic shot.
Well, that was just a warning. How close was that? This is the build-up to the goal that was disallowed. See, Lion Foster was in an offside position. Disappointment for Tsepa Maremi. We thought he had his first for Bafana, his first at a Nations Cup. What a stage to get your first. That would have been if it were allowed. As we hit the hour mark now, South Africa now with a chance for the set piece. This is interwar Mokwena territory. This is the kind of opportunity he relishes. want to check if they got. I see Osman Agonis is also there, but I think this is going to be Mukwena all the way. See, there's a big wall in front of him. So they need wonderful technique to get it over the wall and beyond the keeper. But he's done it before. Here we go, it's taking Mukwena into the wall. The wall doesn't stop. Looks like it's disappointing. This time he didn't get the best from See the free kicks to a piece. And we've had a goal from a set piece. That's how the equalizer came.
At the 62 minutes of the game, still 1-1. The Bafana. When you talk about the Bafana, we cannot forget about the Vuvuzela soundtrack. The Vuvuzela soundtrack, the plastic horn, became a symbol of African football joy. At first was complained in the World Cup. That was then became the sound of 2010. The African fan culture was evolving and could change global football throughout the Vuvuzela. The crowd was using the Vuvuzela and it was noise as loud and buzzing, of course. Palancas, Negras, Angola was having one of the greatest players, and he was one of the Manchester United back in 2008, Montreal, a tall striker, was signed, and a big man from Angola was playing for one of the greatest clubs in England football. And later on, Manucho was loaned out, but became a symbol that the Angolan talent can reach on the very top of football level. It was one of the good reference that if you see a tall and a physical Angola forward, Manucho was the one coming in mind. One cannot also forget the 2010 Angola with AFCON 2010. During that time, the Togo bus was attacked by separatists in Cabinda, and that was the tragic event. The death and injuries shook the African football. And when we tell this kind of story, it stays respectful and focus on safety improvement and resilience.
And he wants to get on before the set piece is taken. Freddy goes short this time. Nice little disguised pass there. Now stopped in his tracks, and there's a Dala. Apollos. Then we get the pass away now. Freddy. The big problem here for South Africa. It's a tear up on the top. It was hit with fury by Maestro. Antonio Mwanza, the holding midfielder.
At first it was a well-worked free kick, I think from training grounds. He didn't get the cross very well.
But did you see that again? Freddie winning the ball again in midfield.
Freddie today has been very instrumental in their team. He's running everywhere, helping the team, taking for it and coming back to defend as well. That was a great shot from a maestro, the number 8, but it was intercepted by a South African defender.
And of course, Freddie is also on set piece duty. The referee with some stern words laying down the law. Corner. 24 minutes to go. What a game we've had here. The opening match in Group B has certainly delivered entertainment. Surprisingly open game. Freddie. Confirmation of the scoreline. Ghana. Well, Madal makes the case that he got the ball. The referee didn't like the challenge coming in from behind.
Oh, that was
I didn't get the ball at all.
Oh, he did it. Ghana was quick. That pace is very good on the ball. He dribbled very well on it. Blocking from the back.
Now, let's see what they can come up with. It's Freddie again. Away by Mbogasi. Interesting header there from Maestro. One over the top. Oh, beautiful touch to control by Angola, but he was offside. Was offside, but nice idea from Clinton Mata with the ball over the top.
That was a beautiful one from Clinton.
You can see at least two of them offside.
To Mbala Zola, but it was offside.
Wonderful tackle. Zola. Gezana. Showing good strength. Hitting Gezana and drawing the foul.
Gezana is a player who I played with, who was coached with by John Pensel when he was in South Africa. The assistant coach of the national team Blasters.
Yes, actually, there was a Kaiser Chiefs in Gezana, but actually started as a development player at the Kaiser Chiefs' big rivals Orlando Pirates, where he played as a striker, interestingly enough. He was a player who would pop up with some important goals for Kaiser Chiefs when he was there. He stays playing in Romania and where he's done excellent work.
I'm not surprised why he's pass out the ball.
Uri. Boazi. Cut back there from Mudau. And a risky challenge diving in. There was a Tor Canero. At least he got the ball. And it's always risky when you dive in like that in the box. If you mistime it, it's a penalty. Corner.
Excellent interception there for Jonathan.
Nervous moments now as we are into the last 20 minutes of the game. Well, Angola have avoided defeat in their last 6 AFCON games they were involved. Let's have a look at this. Mbogasi. got onto it, but no real power to trouble Marks. So they were involved in 2010. Angola were involved in a 4-all draw against Mali, a game in which they were 4-0 up. Asking for the yellow card there.
That was a foul, and they didn't get the ball, get the foot of the play.
Whereby the skipper, who else? Floated in by Moremi. Throw in for South Africa on the near side.
Moreno and Napolis have switched again. Napolis is now operating from the left side.
Here is the maestro. One of the exciting talents, in this side, 20 years old, one of the exciting young talents in this Angola side. Started out in Benfica when he first left Angola, and ended up now playing in Turkey. Certainly South Africa, and once again enjoying more possession.
Both of the teams are very careful not to concede.
Yeah.
South Africa is possessing the ball very well. They are going through the flanks, but not creating a lot of decent chances to win the game.
Taking a look at I'm not surprised he's surprised at the call, because I didn't think that he had fouled the Luvumbo. Have a look at it again. Maybe he did. The feet got tangled there. Just here the announcement of the official attendance, just over 3,000. So it's a small crowd inside of this arena, a 40,000-seater arena. And we're about to see some changes for Angola.
Yes, of course, the changes of Angola. Substitution on Angola's side. Palancas, Negras trying to reinforce the striking force to create more chance and come up with the second goal. And Bafana get, of course, a free kick. So 5 minutes of the game, 15 minutes to go. Substitution. Number 7, Nelson coming on. Replacing number 10. And Mabuluru, 19. This number is coming on for Angola. Number 10 is coming off. Gerson Dalla coming off for Angola. And number 7 is on. course, the statistics. Bafana is holding 6% and Angola 40%. Palancas Negras having 4 shots on target. Now let's see the attacking force of Bafana. Now it's a short off target. Bafana trying a shot off target. In the last 5-10 minutes, Bafana were trying to create chances, making counterattacks, but the Angola was able to stop and calm the situation. The city of Luanda is waiting for the second goal. A city which is busy, very busy, chaotic capital, and the city where the football never sleeps. The street football is everywhere, the beaches and their pitches. The language is football. City of the capital, Luanda, young players juggling balls between taxis and markets. That is fun. And when you are talking about the city of Luanda, it is used to paint a picture of where many Palancas Negras start. Every star in the national team, that's where the journey started. And of course, the city never sleep, but Bafana also never sleep. The second goal of Bafana. The second goal of Bafana scored by number 9, the striker. The striker number 9, Larry Foster, scored the second goal of the Bafana. South Africa 2, Bafana, Palancas Negras 1.
There was one touch, he intercepted the ball very well. That's like first time he intercepted the ball, 1-2 with Moreno, and he played the ball beautifully past Hugo Marquez. Brilliant goal, absolutely brilliant. That is a fine strike. It's nice goal for Bafana. And what a time together. An absolute peach of a goal. Let's give credit to Moreno as well. He put the ball in the rightful place for him to place the ball. Absolutely brilliant. Great goal. Started it and finished it the very fast as well. And Bafana, this time it's nice. Retake the lead. I understand. I was just sharing those statistics about matches when they scored first. They can get a very good record in the AFCON when they score first. And this is the 18th time they've been ahead. And they're seemingly are now on their way to win. Because it's the 27th time they've been ahead in the game. Gone ahead in the game.
And when you talk about the Bafana scholar Fossa, you cannot forget Ben McCarthy, the Champions League history maker, and he's the star striker who won the UEFA Champions League with Porto in 2010 and 2004, and he's still the South African European top scorer. So far, Foster scored the second goal of the match, but Ben McCarthy is still the all-time top scorer South African, who is now a coach of national team of Kenya, and he's showing a pathway from the township to the elite player to the elite staff. And of course, when you talk about Ben McCarthy, you cannot remember, you cannot forget Lucas Ladebe from Soweto to Leeds captain. Lucas Ladebe grew up in the apartheid South Africa and later captain the Leeds United in England. For Manchester United, Sir Alex Ferguson said they would have signed him heartbeat. He is respected for leadership on and off the pitch, and is one of the example of South African export to Europe. 84 minutes of the game, 6 minutes to go. Bafana 2, Angola 1.
Let's give it a left by VAR, but there's nothing VAR could do about that goal from Milan Foster. Superb strike.
It was started from behind. I think South Africa is playing very well now. They're pushing very hard. They are not given their chance to turn with the ball. In Angola, they never change their style of play. That's what they did in the second half. Let's see how it goes.
They are preparing 2 more changes. They are preparing 2 more changes Angola. So we look at this. This is going to be Ronan Williams' ball.
Well, he needs to do a lot of changes. Because by the time is now, he has nothing to lose. And he needs to add a lot of numbers up front.
See that how things have changed in the second half. In South Africa, there have been more shots on goal now. Just the reverse in the first half. Show on the ball. Freddie, who was put in for me, arguably a man of the match performance. Would have been a candidate, but now with the scoreline what it is, it takes South Africa will probably if things stay this way, the candidate for man of the match will have to come on the side of South Africa. So here we go. Randy Keita Nteka is one of those who will come on, and the other is a central midfielder, number 15. And Freddie gets a well-deserved rest. What a fine game he has had, the captain.
Fantastic captain, fantastic player. He did very well. He took the 2 midfielders out. Maestro and Freddie out. And taking one offensive striker and one offensive midfielder as well. He needs to push and get the equalizer.
Straight swap there. Foul on the goalkeeper there. Went down more quickly.
The only goalkeeper you cannot touch when he's going for an area post like this.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, it's too dangerous. He wanted to go high, but he blocked him and he blew it.
What beautiful, brilliant goal. You saw the one touch from Moreni? Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. And no, hardly any backflips today from him. Just but gets his technique perfect. Unlike that initial chance that he had earlier in the half when he was leaping back and skying, he got his knee over, he got his body over the ball, and wow, curled it beautifully beyond the reach of Hugo Marx. 13 games in EPL and 2 goals. That's a striker you can't give a chance. This Burnley side are struggling a little bit in the Premier League. As Angola, I won't give up the fight yet. You can bet your life on that. Is one of the subs there. Oh my goodness. The referee has to get involved here now and look like a nasty challenge. Tempers are flying high. When the game of race, frustration. It's frustration. I feel like the game got away from them. They were in it for so long. But Milson, there's no way they was going to get away with that. And we get a yellow card, yet another one. Oh, that's a bad challenge. Nowhere near the ball. Look at that. Nowhere near the ball. It's a cynical challenge. And deservedly, he goes into the book as a Randy Kent and Taker, who's just come on, by the way.
Budao Huriso was fooled, but now it's back on the field. Bafana still leading 2-1, and they are trying to get the 3 points. First game of the tournament with a dangerous attacking force. Foster, the striker, was the one who scored the second goal of the Bafana. Bururu was trying to head the ball for the second goal, but the free kick. Five minutes additional time. Bafana still leading 2-1. AFCON Group B. Bafana 2. Palancas Negras 1.
Nations Cup is in danger here. Already isolated, needs support. He ran away from the support there.
The first have been very instrumental in the game. They still can't place bullet for the South African national team.
Angola have won just one of their 9 African Cup of Nations opening matches, drawing 6 and losing 2. Their last opening game win was against Burkina Faso in 2012. But their proud record of avoiding defeat on opening day, their last 6 opening day appearances, they have managed to avoid defeat, but that record hangs in the balance now.
Back in the game.
South Africa's behind the four. A goal kick. High fives all round, because they know the job is just about done. They know the job is about done. Another change the football. What a game he's had. Worked his socks off, terrorized, full liberty by the first half. But his place is done. Yes, he's played very well. He got a brother from the Angola national team, and he did his job at the front. He's still bringing a striker, and he's still playing. So the man introduced him. Introduced a striker, a late on here, well, it's a defender, Rui, who's just come on, plays for Udinese in Italy, and for what club? There you go, 26-year-old, away by Marks. Season that rush as well. Let's see. Get on with it.
The beautiful thing about the South African national team is they haven't stopped playing their style of football. They still press high.
Bruce is about to celebrate his 50th match in charge with a victory, and what a win it was as well. But Spain, what performance in Spain. Disappointment for Patrice Oman and those Angolan supporters, but they've had a good night. It's been a very entertaining game of football.
The man corner kicks in the game. They haven't done a lot to utilize all the corner kicks they've gotten.
Angola unbeaten in their last 6 matches against South Africa. Winning 3 and drawing 3. Minutes away now, 2 minutes away. Unless they can pull something on the fire here. The man has been taking all the set pieces. Freddy is on the field by referee. It's too late, the referee wants to talk. The check has already been cooked, by the way. And Shaw gets a very still talking to as well. Goal kick. Goal kick. And now we are into the last 30 seconds of the game. How's it goal kick?
And of course, now this brings us to the end of the game. South Africa 2, Bafana 2, Angola 1. The AFCON Cup of Nations, which is giving 3 points of Bafana. The entire city is happy. The players are happy. 3 points are won. Thank you very much for AFCON Morocco Marrakesh. Bafana win. South Africa 2, Angola